right, let's do it. And guess what? We are live. What is up, everybody? Listen, what an honor it is to sit here today with my good friend Giacomo Manera and Daniel Shoemake, two very good friends of mine. It's been an honor to have Daniel on actually and co-host with me on several of them, and looking forward to the future with us too. Right, missing our man Northeast Jules right now. He's at work, so if you're listening, Northeast, we love you and we miss you, man. So hopefully you can chime in. If not, welcome to the party, everybody. Welcome to the Pinkcast. I'm so excited today. Look at Giacomo smiling. Let's go. Yes, sir. So Giacomo, what is up, my man? How you doing?
Good. Just been steady, just hanging out and trying to get things situated for 2024. But it's been good.
Are you getting ready for Santa Claus? That's the main question.
I might have a list.
Listen, have you been good or naughty? Are you on the naughty list or the good list this year?
I'd like to think that I'm on the good list, but I know some people could say otherwise.
Hey, I feel you on that. Me and Daniel can relate, and so is I bet you some viewers that are watching right now and that are going to be listening can absolutely relate to that, right?
Oh,
Um,
trust me, I haven't been on the good list in probably 10 years, dude.
Listen, I feel you, right? I keep getting coal, but the coal I use for my wood stove, right? So,
Oh, well, then you're golden.
dude, it's all good, right? You got to find the ways to get around all this, right? So, yeah, absolutely. So, Giacomo and Daniel, real quick, man, how was your guys' Thanksgiving?
Go ahead, Giacomo. You go first.
Mine was great, actually. My family got a little bit together. My dad came back home, and we were able to cook turkey and eat as a family, which was a good time.
That's
Um,
always a good one.
yeah. How about yours, Daniel?
Mine was all right. Like mom and dad, like there was a couple of people out of town, so mom didn't do the full spread that we usually do, which kind of sucked because there wasn't any leftovers. So you're starving for 3 days after. Like, no. But so I've got two goddaughters that I'm helping raise because that card got called. So we went to their grandparents' house and ate and had the big spread there. And I didn't get leftovers there either, but whatever. But so yeah, no, it was all right. And then the house we went to for theirs, their grandparents is the guy that I bought my race bike from. And he and I were talking, and I'm trying to set up he's trying to sell some bikes, and I'm trying to get some stuff, help him get some stuff sold and everything else. So it was all good.
That's proper, yeah. So I went to my mom's house like I do every year. I actually had some family come in that I ain't seen in over a year.
Good.
One from Seattle and from California. Both of them are in the Navy. One's a fighter pilot, and the other one he just works on a ship. He's a seaman. We'll say that, right? So yeah, it was good to see him. Like I said, it's usually only once a year. My mom always does this big Thanksgiving feast. To be honest with everybody, I'm not a big turkey stuffing or any of that. I'd rather have steak and shrimp or Mexican food or something, right? But yeah, it was good, man. I enjoyed hanging out. Of course, everybody had a little drink, hanging out with the family. So yeah, it was a proper good time. My man Peter Marsh from across the pond. What is up, Peter? He says, "Good evening, you beautiful people, my mates. Thank you so much, you guys." And listen, uh, Giacomo, you're gonna like this one, bro. You're on the naughty list. You're on the naughty list. He done called you out.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was caught.
caught red-handed, right? So, listen, to everybody that don't know who you are or where you come from, why don't you tell everybody actually where you got your passion for motorcycles?
Yeah. So yeah, not I find this interesting because a lot of people don't know that I grew up and I'm from Italy. Both my parents are from Italy. Obviously there's some passion just there. But my dad rode a motorcycle. I remember being a kid. He used to take me on rides, and that was always something that I looked up to and I wanted to do in the future. But I never really got into motorcycle racing until I was older. I always rode mountain bikes. Me and my buddies would gather up in the local town and go ride all the dirt bike trails. And of course, we didn't have dirt bikes. We were too young for that. So um, and yeah, just rode mountain bikes till I was 12, and then we moved to Thailand after that, which was kind of a little bit of a disappointment for me. I really wanted to stick around Italy and go race and do all that, but life happens and things change. But I still rode mountain bikes over there in Thailand. I met a lot of people that I still talk to nowadays that race motorcycles or cars and mountain bikes over there. Um, but yeah, so it wasn't up until I moved back to Italy after those 4 years in Thailand that I wanted to start riding bikes. And I remember my buddies all had mopeds, like 50cc mopeds, and we'd soup them up and go ride like down the street from my house and go do wheelies and stuff like that, stupid stuff. But I never owned a motorcycle myself until we moved here to the U.S. in 2017, and my dad gifted me my first bike, and then from there was a progress of just going to the first kart track and meeting the right people, this and that, and then I ended up getting on a 450 about maybe 2 years after that.
Nice.
So
Proper.
Hang on,
Yeah.
stop. Hang on. Italy to Thailand's not across the parking lot.
No.
Right. Yeah. That's not a. Yeah.
Wait, like, because you can't just gloss over that big of a move. Okay, like I heard Thailand, I went, wait, stop.
Yeah.
Hang
right.
on.
Yeah, it was definitely different. It took a lot of time to just adapt to how different the culture was, and I didn't know I didn't know there was anything outside of my little small town of 6,000 people, and then a year later, I was in this place that had 6 million people in one city. So it was huge. And I will say, I wish I would have been a little bit older. I could have gotten to experience a little more of it,
Right. Right. Yeah.
but yeah, it was still a good time.
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
love. So I got family that actually lives in Thailand, and Thai food is one of my favorite foods, and I love spice. Everybody that knows me personally, I love spicy, real spicy
I,
food. So yeah, it's
um,
what's your favorite Thai food?
I personally I like pad thai.
Pad Thai's good. Yep.
Yeah, or tom yum goong used to be
Yep.
my
Tom Yum
favorite.
Goong's is good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But my absolute favorite, which I don't know what the name of it is, but my dad would stop at one of the carts along the side of the road and pick up like a fish and papaya salad and a bunch
Papaya.
of other stuff.
Hey, yes.
And that was my favorite thing to eat. Just like that fish that he probably took out of the back pond. They just
Right.
fished it up. But
Right.
that was
The
good.
back pond
Yeah.
that's right behind the cart. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's good, man. The Thai food's so good. Actually, we got Ryan Snooks. What is up? Man? He says, "Ciao amigos."
Ciao,
Everybody
Ben.
knows Ryan. Yeah, yeah. Ryan's awesome. We got Eli Colby, my man Eli. What is up? He says, red curry chicken for the win. Yeah, yeah. Red curry chicken, man. Listen, I love all Thai food. I don't care what it is. You put it in front of me, and I'm pretty much gonna shove it down my throat. Because it's so good. And then of course, my man David Wolfie. He says, there he is. The
David.
Italian stallion
Good old
is in
David.
the house. Yes, he is.
Him and his
Gotta love the
cowboy hat.
Wolfies.
Oh man, they're so good, dude. Ryan and them. Yeah. So I met them in Jersey and went in their trailer and sat down and talked with them. They're man, beautiful people. I enjoyed every second of it. They actually gave me a shirt that I wore on the podcast. So Giacomo, usually people, I ask people to send me something signed or give me a shirt that I can wear on the podcast or hang up on the wall, just a memorial to give back to all you beautiful people that's graced yourself on this podcast, right?
For sure.
So yeah, it's they are awesome. I have nothing but love for them. They're great.
I absolutely love David and Erica and Ryan. They took care of me all year. They got me to stay in their RV and cook some pretty good food. So I can't.
Eric is the
I got
OG.
nothing bad to say.
Look, Eric is the one. Like David, you can sit there and me and David will sit there. No, Eric is the one you don't fuck with. Hell no.
Nah, yeah,
That's very true.
That
I'm
mama
sure
right there,
everybody. I'm sure everybody's tried her banana bread.
Listen, I was ready to say that. No, I'm still listen. I know you guys are listening. I'm still waiting on my banana nut bread. So yes,
I had it at
yes.
GNF a couple of years ago. It is legit.
Yes, this is what I hear.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's yeah, banana nut bread. I can't wait. And then we have another comment real quick. Eli, Daniel, what's the oh no, sorry, hold on. We'll get to that next season. We will get to that. I didn't mean to bring that one up. This is from Eli. He says this Yakima fella is smoking hot.
Yeah, who?
Eli Colby. Eli
Oh, yeah.
Block. Yeah. Yeah, that's my dude. So actually, I need to rearrange. I've been rearranging. He actually gave me a leather suit. You guys see it right there in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging up for my ceiling. He signed it. Man, my mic's so
I'm gonna need you to
sensitive.
quit
I
hitting
can
that
just
mute button. Is what you
listen.
need.
I barely. I mean, I could just barely blow on it. And it just it cuts on and off. But dude, Eli was when I met him and his dad there in Jersey. Same thing with Ryan, Wolfie, and David and them. It was everybody that I met was awesome. I had such a great time. Look who it is right here. Cool Jules. What is
There
up,
he
my man? Hey yo, what? LOL. That's awesome. So yeah, so let's get back into it. So you got your passion for bikes at a young, well, older on. You started older, right? You've been moving a lot since a young age, right? All over from Italy to Thailand to where we are right now, right? So out of all the places you lived, which do you prefer the most?
That's a tough one. There isn't one that I would stick with. I kind of like moving. I guess I've gotten so used to it. Um, but here in the States where I'm at now, I thoroughly enjoy being here. Greenville is a pretty cool place. You know, you got the mountains not far away, actually pretty close. Some of the best riding trails. And you know, I'm a mountain biker at heart, so um, the trails here are pretty sick. And but I would like to experience Thailand now. Like
Yeah.
if I could go back now and live, maybe I don't know if I would like it or not, but I would like to experience that. Um, but yeah, and you know, Italy is one of my favorite places on earth. Like I wish I could live there. To be honest, yeah, that's a pretty cool tattoo you got.
And I got the
Yeah.
Simicelli one. Yeah, dude. I'm my son. Everybody knows Hayden Rossi. Yeah. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
You
Go
can't
ahead,
hide
Dr.
it,
Bo.
dude. Stop
I
it.
can't, dude. I can't. I can't.
No, but yeah, I mean, I have tried to go back home to Italy and live, but it's just so difficult for me to do. There's just less opportunities for me
Yeah.
right now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, Greenville is working out for me pretty good.
That's
And
awesome. Go ahead.
you know,
Sorry.
being in South Carolina is like kind of in the perfect in between all the tracks, and I'm not far from Jackson in North Carolina and Ashland in Georgia, so we got a pretty cool group.
Yeah, you're kind of like me. I'm just a little further north, but yeah,
Yeah, you're
absolutely.
you're in
Sorry,
the middle of
Daniel.
a
Go ahead.
wrecking crew right there with
Right.
Ashton and
Yeah.
Jackson and all,
Yeah.
and you're that close to the Heron. I'm sitting there watching video footage from like the Heron compound of Ashton on that Suzuki 450 he's got. I'm like, I'm too old for this shit. Like I can't. I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, I don't bounce anymore, so I can't do that. But it's fun to
Nah,
watch.
it's crazy because you know, in the last 4 years, I can't remember a time I've seen Ashton crash.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and he is absolutely sending it every time. So it's
Well,
impressive to watch.
He
the
is.
bloodline's good.
The
I don't know
blood.
if
Yeah, I
you've
was gonna
seen
say.
that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
Lucky
Hoppy
Aaron. Yeah. It's mental.
I
Yeah.
remember watching him race when there's the Yoshimura team, and it was just
Yep.
like, oh, well, you've got Matt and Ben racing each other, and Aaron. Okay, Aaron's the enforcer of the group. Okay,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like you don't like you leave Aaron, you give Aaron a wide berth, just let it roll.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Man,
funny because I heard the podcast with Ben Spees on Gypsy
That
Tales.
was so
Dude, that was
good.
Yeah.
proper, right? Because you get the inside kind of view, and I love hearing stories like that, like that proper battles that Ben and Matt actually went through, right? Talking cash shit, because you know it was. I mean, deep down, Ben also said that when they were in the van together or wherever they're going, it was different, right? Of course it is, but dude, you know, Giacomo and everybody that professionally road races know that, man, once that helmet goes on, yeah, you're my friend, but I want to rip your head off and shit down your throat. I'm gonna win this race. I don't care at what cost, right? But afterwards, of course, we're buddy be let's have a
Yeah.
cerveza, amigo, glass of wine, or whatever, right? So yeah.
No, for sure. Actually, one of my favorite Gypsy Tale podcasts is um, the oh my god, of course now I forget the name. Casey Stoner.
Yep, Stoner. Yes, that was
Yeah.
really good. He did one with
I-
Jack Miller too. That was really good.
Yeah, that one too. Honestly, all of his podcasts are really good, but that one in particular, I sat throughout the whole 4 hours. I don't know how many times, like on my bicycle back there, something like that. You know, there's a lot to take in.
There is, yeah, there is. Yeah. So, well, next time you're out there mountain bike, man, listen to Pin to Gas podcast when you're out there riding and doing those pedals, right? Anyway,
I will for sure.
Yeah, appreciate the love. Good joke, inside joke. I already know, but yeah. So, tell us about your mountain bike setup.
Well, I have actually my mountain bike is in Georgia right now with Ashton. But I have a Scott. I think it's called a Genesis or Genius 720, and yeah, it's a pretty cool little neat all around mountain bike. You know, when I used to race downhill, I had like a Kona Stinky, I think it was called, like back in the day. And that thing had like 200 mil forks and 190 mil shock, and it was pretty. You could go over some pretty rough stuff. But with some of the trails around here, you don't need that much, and I kind of like climbing as well. So yeah, that bike is kind of perfect for what we have around here. Ashton just got a pretty cool bike. 27.5. I've always rode 26, so I never really felt comfortable on 29er. But I've ridden them before, and I see why people do it.
Yeah. For sure. So Erica says, let's talk about your pasta. Giacomo, what's up with the pasta, man?
Yeah, what's up?
What are we missing? I'm hungry right now. Hold up.
Yeah, so here's another thing a lot of people don't know is in Italy, I went to culinary school for I think a year or two. So
Proper.
So I love to cook too, and ever since I moved here, I've been able to. My dad loves food as well, so we got a little garden in the back. And in this scenario, Erica was referring to the pesto, the lemon pesto. I'd bring down a little bit of lemon pesto and make some pasta for everybody, and it's always a good time. And I feel like that's like the perfect race meal.
So are you making the pasta and bringing it down, or are you doing store-bought?
Nah, store-bought pasta, but I'm making the pesto like from scratch.
Right. It's good.
What pasta are you getting?
I like penne or rotini, but
what's your brand?
That's a good question.
This inquiring mind needs to know.
I like
Barilla is a good one, but there's another brand that I can't remember right now that's really good. It's from Rome. It's much better. Yeah, I can't remember the name.
I'll message you. Don't worry.
Yeah, right. I'll message you. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll remind you to let me know for sure. So this lemon pasta, I'm gonna try to make Daytona, but I'm definitely gonna be in Atlanta and Jersey. So when do I get banana nut bread and pasta? Man, I'm gonna be fed good this time. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We can make that happen.
We're all partying at Road Atlanta this year.
Oh, dude, we're gonna have so much fun when everybody's together. It's gonna be.
I'm gonna be down there. I'm helping. I think I'm pretty sure I'm helping Ryan.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be ballistic. We're gonna have so much fun. Everybody, I can't wait. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be proper. So, obviously, we have mutual mates as friends, right? My man Action Jackson, which, man, dude, he's such a cool kid. I love Action. I call him Action Jackson. That's his nickname. That Jules gave him. Yeah, he's proper, of course, Ashton. So how did you end up hooking up with Ashton and Action Jackson?
Well, it was kind of a funny story. Jackson, I met him at Carolina Motorsports Park. We were riding the car track, and it was one of my first time, or I think I just bought the 17-inch rims for my dirt bike. So it was like the first time really trying to go and ride the car track for real. all I remember is this kid passed me on an R3, and I was like, I'm gonna try and stick behind this guy. And we go into turn one, and sure enough, after a couple laps going into turn one, I just tucked the front right behind him. And we go in the pits, and I'm like, bro, we're going so fast, and I just tucked the front, almost took you out. And I'm sure he was not stoked about that, but that is kind of how we met. And then his dad came up and said hi and whatever. And then fast forward, I want to say a couple months later, we were in the same van driving down to Callahan for the winter throwdown, and it's just been a friendship ever since. Um, but yeah, Jackson, he's been a big part of what I've been able to accomplish here too.
Good. Yeah, actions, dude. He's action.
He's
I
a
love
good
that.
dad.
Yeah.
He's a good
He
guy to
is.
have in your corner.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, for
Him
sure.
and his dad both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was an honor to meet them both.
And then from there, just kind of riding at the Heron compound, got to meet Ashton and start hanging out with him. And we just recently started doing some bicycle riding together for the first time. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, because he just got a new mountain bike, didn't he? Or a new upgrade or something.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
a pretty cool bike.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, they're expensive, man. So I had one when I lived in Phoenix, go to MMI. I had a mountain bike that I rode. It was a KHS. It was like $1,800. I mean, but back then, man, shit, that's 2,000. That was a lot of money, man, for a mountain bike. You kidding me?
Oh,
I had
yeah.
to have it. That was so beautiful, right? I was like, oh, she sings to me. I need her. My school MMI Motorcycle Mechanics Institute was 10 miles away, so I rode it to school, and I usually caught a ride home because it was, I worked. Then I rode my mountain bike to school, and then shit, 11 o'clock when I got out, I was like, man, I ain't fixing to ride 10 miles. I might as well just camp right here and go to sleep. So I ended up catching, but somebody stole it off my front door. I literally rode home, parked it out front, had to go and use the restroom. By the time I come out, it was gone.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was pissed. I hadn't bought one since because I'm still bitter about my $1,800 or whatever.
Yeah,
It was.
no,
Yeah,
playing that game.
yeah.
Yeah, my last before the bike that I have now, I had a really nice Bergamot downhill
Nice.
bike,
Nice.
and that was in Italy. And I think 3 weeks before I left on a plane to come here to the States, I think I got a flat or something in some of the local trails, so I just rode it down to my friend's house and locked it in between two houses. And sure enough, the next day it was gone. And it was like that was a bad time in my life.
Bro.
Like I just lost my bicycle. That was a big deal.
Horrible.
Dude, it's a very big deal. And Northeast Jewel says, LOL can't beat our barbecue and cheeseburgers.
I will say I like some barbecue. I like barbecue.
Where in the Northeast do they barbecue?
He's from New York, man. So
hang on.
Yeah,
No.
honestly, I'm not a barbecue fan, so I'm not a big barbecue sauce or barbecue.
Well, you gotta find like what you like in the situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, whatever.
Yeah, and then Bobby says,
"Oh God,
of course, right?" I was waiting on somebody as soon as we started talking about Thailand to bring that up. Lady boys,
and
that's hilarious. And then of course, Eli says, I don't think Giacomo is ready for the smoke golfing this winter, right?
Hey, you gotta calm it down a little bit. I'm not that good. Like I literally picked up a golf club a couple of months ago with Jackson. So
look,
take it easy on me, Eli.
I tell everybody, if you find me on a golf course, save me. I've been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Like if I'm on a golf course, I'm making drinks and I'm driving the cart. I'm not swinging anything. I am the party organizer. I'm not playing. No.
That's hilarious.
I ain't got the patience for
shit. I like golf. I'm really good at Tiger Woods golf on the PlayStation. So anybody listening, anybody listening want to get up and play some Tiger Woods, let's get it, baby, all day, right? But golf's fun, man. I ain't gonna lie. I do have a set of clubs. I haven't played in a long time. It got to a point where I did go out with some of my buddies, and we'd have who don't go to the liquor store, get some airplane shooters, go out there on a golf course, smack a couple, talk shit, lose a couple balls, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. It's a lot of fun, man. It's one of the most challenging games I've ever played in my life, for sure. Mental.
We played. We went to Top Golf Tuesday.
Nice.
I don't know, for 4 or 5 months straight, and yeah, so I got a little bit of practice there. But man, from that to the golf course is so different. You could have a perfect day at the range, and then it just be like fucking shit.
Shitty, right? For sure. And then of course, Alfred, sorry. He says mountain bike, your collarbone killer.
Oh, there's a
Yeah.
story here. There's a
Yep.
story here.
So what's the story?
Yeah, so after I broke my first collarbone, which is my right one, on a dirt bike, last year at the beginning of the season, I think it was January or February. I went out for a bicycle ride, a mountain bike ride on Big Rock, which is this huge rock that is bold, and you just kind of there's trails that kind of run up on top of it, and it was February, so it was still pretty cold, and I was supposed to meet up with a couple of buddies, and nobody ended up showing up in time. So I just decided to take a loop by myself, and I ended up hitting the ice patch and going over the bars, a couple, probably like 6 feet or something like that, and broke my other collarbone, and took a pretty gnarly slam to the face, and I was lucky to just be able to stand up from that.
Yeah.
And then I ended up having to walk 30 minutes back down the whole mountain with nobody around till I got to the truck. And it was not fun. It was not a good time, especially not having anybody to rely on. And yeah, I made it back to the hospital, and I knew immediately as soon as I fell, like I got up, and I couldn't feel my face, and I felt my collarbone snap right in half.
Yeah.
So yeah, not my best start of the year, especially
Where do
considering
I
we
get the
had
line to not do that?
yeah.
Right. And collarbones are so easy to break. I mean, let's just be honest, right? I mean, it seems like you barely hit the ground and your collarbone breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it was not a good time.
yeah. Look, Bobby says they're hot also. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as they're not lady boys, absolutely they are, right? So I got a cousin of mine actually lives there. So two of my cousins, one of his brothers lived in China for 10 years or whatever. He's this big wig at GE, right? So it just huge big wig way up in the company. So his other brother, Mark, he would go out there and visit him, and then they would go to Thailand. So he ends up meeting this Thai woman at the bar, right? Normal story, right? Brings her back to the United States on a 6-month visa. They get married. They bring their kids over there. And this is how I fall in love with Thai food, because she makes the most amazing Thai food ever, right? But yeah, it's just funny. So anyway, he comes back in town. He was the ones at Thanksgiving. He showed me these pictures. He's like, dude, check this girl. She's in Thailand. I was like, damn, she's hot. He's like, yeah, she's probably got a 10-inch dick too. That's a guy. And I was like, what?
How do you
Shut
look at
up,
the
dude.
Adam's apple
Like,
on this?
how
Hang
do
on a
you?
minute.
He says they shave them down out there.
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
Look, I want to go just because it's all the beaches are amazing. It's beautiful there. I'm not going anywhere near a bar, casino, nothing. Like I'm just gonna sit on the beach. I'm gonna drink myself till I pass out. Just be like,
That's it.
that's it. I ain't doing it.
I think you'll be surprised how hard it is to tell whether they actually are a guy or not. Like some of
That's
them
why I'm
are,
staying away.
yeah.
I ain't about to mess up. Nope.
I mean,
Bobby knows what's up.
Bobby knows what's up, right? And, hey, by then it's too late, right? Because you're like,
Yeah,
I fucked around and found out real quick. Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't
man.
trying to. No.
No.
I ain't playing in that. I'm not even swimming in that pool. Hell no.
But I do want to go visit Thailand, because you're right. The pictures and the way they say it's beautiful. It's a great experience. The food is phenomenal.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Yeah. But look, my wife's at my window, because I got my window shut up, waving a Christmas tree at me, smiling. She goofy, everybody. I'll stick to my listen. He says I'll stick to my 2 wives. LOL, dude, bro. More power to you. I can't say I'm not just a little bit jealous.
No.
There's a lot of headache that comes along with that one too.
Yeah,
Though,
like
right?
you've got one headache and you're gonna double down on another one.
Yeah, that's
Bobby's a real one for that.
Yes,
he can have it.
Man, imagine his honey to do list.
Yeah,
That's twice as long, right? Yeah,
absolutely not.
Right. Yeah. So, Giacomo, why don't you tell us about your 2023 season, starting from the beginning to where we're sitting to right now, like all the races you've done, the classes you've been in, all the W's you've taken, all the good stuff.
Yeah, it was man, I at the beginning of the year we didn't go in it thinking we were gonna win the championship. We just went in thinking we are gonna go ride and do our best, and just it was just an opportunity to ride a bike. And straight from the testing at VRR, Ryan and I knew that we kind of had some work to do. At least I did for sure, because Ryan at the beginning of the season was faster than I was, and so yeah, we just kind of kept doing what Russell always told us, which is circulating and just keeping a constant pace. And um, we um, we got to Atlanta for the first race, and it went as probably, well, I can't say it could have gone. It could have definitely gone worse, but it definitely didn't go the way we wanted it to. Where somebody laid oil on the track, and I ended up hitting it and picking the bike up, and fuel was spewing everywhere because of the dent in the tank. And uh, Russell piecing the bike back together at the last minute in the restart. And um, man, there was just so many things that were wrong with that thing at that time. And all I remember was Russell saying, like, just feel it out for a lap, and then if you need to come in, you can come in, but feel it out for a lap. And it ended up turning into a podium. So we just kind of kept the momentum going after that, and ended up being on the podium every single race, which is a pretty cool accomplishment,
Fact.
considering we were also against. I mean, the whole lightweight was stacked with RS 660s, which is just like a completely different monster from what we were riding. Um, and so yeah, just kept on kept on trying to make podiums, and it kind of worked out for us at the end, and never really made mistakes. Ryan was also super fast at the beginning. He used to give me like two seconds, and the agreement was that whoever qualified the fastest would start the race, and so therefore we get to do the double stint, which was for us. It's like, oh, more ride time. Other people might see it as like, oh shit, I got to do
Right.
a double stint. But yeah, and
I'm
Daniel's
old.
like, shit. God
I was
damn
like, damn it, I gotta run this thing twice. Fuck.
Breathe.
Yeah. I'm old, man.
It's
but yeah,
hilarious.
and it ended up working out. The first three races, Ryan was faster than I was and always started the race. And then I decided that it was time for me to get my double stint, and I was like, okay, I need to step my game up a little bit, and was able to um, be a little quicker or qualify a little quicker than Ryan, but it wasn't by much. It used to be where like he'd give me a second or two, and I could give him a couple tenths here and there. So he definitely pushed me to become faster throughout the year, and it was cool. It was a good time. But yeah, the biggest thing is I don't think we could have done it without Russell. I mean, some of the team calls that he made, I wouldn't have had the guts to make those calls. Like for example, Pittsburgh is. I still have flashbacks about Pittsburgh because it was probably one of my best races so far. Um, where we started out, and actually the day before, Russell told us exactly what was going to happen. There was three scenarios, and sure enough, one of those scenarios happened. So we knew exactly what to do as soon as it started raining. I kept riding because it was weird. It was like sprinkling. It wasn't really raining. It wasn't damp. And with having so many bikes on the grid, they drive the line pretty good. Um, but yeah, when everybody came in to do the tire swap and put reins on, I just kept going, and Russell and I knew exactly what was going on, and we just gave each other a thumbs up and just kept trucking, and we ended up making the pass for first. And then yeah, and kind of we lucked out with the red flag whenever it happened, because it was right before the downpour, and so yeah, but yeah, just Russell had some aces up his sleeve here and there, and some race experience and from the past.
Hey,
Yeah.
look,
Ron
Russell's
says
been
Russell is that guy.
many.
Russell's the man.
Russell's been doing it for forever. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's literally if it's happened, Russell's seen it and done it. Like it
Nice.
just Yeah, like endurance racing and anything SV wise too. Like
Yeah.
Russell's been there, done that, made the T-shirt. So yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean going back to Road Atlanta, when he fixed like some of the things were okay. The tank was dented.
Yeah.
The brake reservoir was completely off the bike, but the tube was still there. So he just slapped another reservoir on, and it worked. But that's when he was like, "Hey, you got to take it easy for maybe a lap, just give it a feel." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna go
Oh.
into 10A and not have any brakes." But they were there.
No, thank you. No.
And the other
Coming
thing
down that
is,
hill at speed's terrifying.
oh yeah,
Even if it's on an SV, like you're only coming down at like 135, 138, and you go
I,
nothing. Nope.
I think even more so on a SV because you got. I mean, that thing is so heavy; it already doesn't want to stop, and then you're
No,
like
it
just
doesn't want to stop.
praying. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, the other thing was like the brake lever. He had to replace that, and we only had it was like longer for some reason, and it poked out a little bit. So every time I'd hit the curb, you could hear it, you could see it spark back, and I just imagine myself coming in too hot, clipping it, my rear wheel locking up, and that would have been a bad day. But it didn't happen. And Russell, sure enough, he's like, "Don't worry, it'll shave down," and it did just that. You know.
No, thank you. Mm-mm.
That's
It's one of
awesome.
these. Ain't happening.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
That's awesome. So obviously it was man, SV is such a great platform there for when it first come out, right? It's such a nimble bike for its heyday when it come out, right? It was a good entry level race bike, and a lot of people. It's been around the block a long time, I mean a long time.
Yeah.
It's Lorenzo says
Ciao,
Giacomo.
bad.
Ciao bad. Yeah, there you go. What does that mean?
He's saying go. Bad is just a way of like a thing that you just say. It's like I don't know what you would refer to here.
He's sitting in a Ferrari Daytona right now.
I know that's what I'm looking at too.
Like,
I think he rented that car.
Okay. I hope he did, because if it's the first generation Daytona, good luck when the transmission sensor goes out, because you got to pull the whole back half of the car apart.
Ooh.
Oh, it's not good. It's not good.
I think he's unhappy with his Audi, so I don't think he'd be getting a Ferrari anytime
Don't
soon.
do. Trust me. The last Ferrari you want is a first generation Daytona, well, modern Daytona, because literally, my brother used to work at a an independent exotic shop. You literally, to change the sensor on the transmission, because the transmission is in the back of the car, you have to pull the whole back subframe, all the suspension pieces out, to pull the transmission out and replace a sensor and then put it all back in. It's an 18-hour job to swap a sensor.
Nope. That sounds
probably $10,000 too.
15.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, nah, dude, I'm good.
No, thank you.
I'm good on
Anyway.
that. Yeah, you keep it. You keep your Ferraris, and they're nice. Don't get me wrong. I got them on GTA 7 or 5 or whatever it is on my PlayStation 5. Yeah, and they're awesome, and they look good, man. I've been around a lot of. I mean, I've seen them, and Lamborghinis. Even if I won $1 million, man, I would probably buy one. Just say I had one, and probably turn around and sell it the next week. It's just not who I am. I'd rather have a garage
race car,
dude. Well, and I would like to have a garage full of just Ducatis and RC51s and ZX7 double R's and R7s and OW01s and all that shit. We just want to walk in a garage and with just a mean boner and just be in heaven, right? Just like yes, with flat screen TVs everywhere and couches and just man. Forget the Ferrari, even though they're nice. Don't get me wrong.
They're pretty.
Yeah,
they sound good.
Yeah, they look real nice and they sound good for sure.
They do.
I've never been in one, although I'd want to. Actually, if my buddy ever rents one again, we'll go for a rip, and I'll let you know how that goes.
They sound good. They go really good when they're okay. They're like Italian women. You treat them right, they're wonderful. The second they have a problem, it's a nightmare.
It's an issue, just like Ducatis. I get it, dude. Trust me.
Just like Ducatis.
Yep. Ryan says it was an honor to race for him too. I still think that's crazy how everything turned out.
Yeah, that was, man. I still can't believe it, to be honest. Like even the last race for me it was such a blur because I huffed gas for an hour and 15, and when I got off the bike, I could see like 3 dots everywhere I looked, and I wasn't myself. And I ended up going to the RV and coming back at 5:15, and I just woke up and I'm like, oh, we won the championship. Like, it was crazy.
Well, the amount of red flags in that race was a little out of hand too. Because
Yeah,
I was down there helping. I was down there helping the CRT team, Parrish and Mullins and all those guys. And we got lucky for a minute because racing SVs, I kind of halfway know how to put the bodywork back on it pretty quick. And after they crashed, trying to swap everything back in, I was like, oh, thank God we can work on this thing in a red flag. But God, there's like 7 or 8 red flags in that race. It was wild.
Yeah, I think they got tangled up with the guys that were next to us.
Yeah.
Spare part or some expensive parts. I think their name was.
Some expensive spares, because there used to be some expense spared, and now it's some expensive spares, something like that. It's it's Chris Mays' team. And I've known Chris for a while, so
yeah, he's a good dude.
Oh yeah, great guy. Parrish too. Parrish, we're gonna get him on the show one of these days.
Yeah, we will. We'll definitely get Parrish on
family. So I've known Parrish for a long time.
And Ryan says, watch out for Beamers SUVs.
Oh,
what is that about?
Well, another story.
Well, I don't have anything to do with that. That's just Ryan getting into some funky situations.
All right, Ryan, you got to cough it up now, baby. What's up with this story?
I'll get it out of him later.
Yeah,
one of us will.
This story. I jump in, whatever. Yeah,
that video is pretty cool.
It's on video.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to see this video there, Ryan.
No, actually, the only bad thing I've ever done is probably I ripped my truck around the Heron compound one time. I believe it was Halloween last year.
The cat's out the bag, everybody.
But
statute of limitations is that it's fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can claim that my Tacoma's got the fastest lap time around that track for a car.
Y'all heard it on Pin the Gas first.
Meanwhile, Heron's going, catch that motherfucker.
Yeah. That's awesome. So tell us about Ron down there at the Heron compound with Ashton and everybody, man.
No, it's been good. Actually, we used to do a lot more riding there. I mean, there was a time where I used to drive every weekend after work. I would drive straight down to the Heron compound. It's like a 5-hour drive, and just ride with Ashton and whoever was there, and then come back home. But it taught me a lot. It's a cool track, it's small, not a lot of room for error, and it's real tight on a 450. So you got to work the bike pretty good. And Ashton's super fast over there. I think he still gives me a second a lap on the 450. So if that. So but it's been good. We've been riding a lot more at Bushnell lately, and that track is super fun. And we just did a South Florida mini GP race a couple weeks ago, and Ashton came out, and that was a fun trip. And we had Cam over there, and we ended up shaving his head after the race. And
yes, that was proper.
It was a good time.
He told you the story, right? How this went down.
Oh yeah. Oh, we were all rooting for Jamie.
Yeah. I bet I would have been too. I'd have been like, "Go, Jamie!" Because Jamie told me straight up. She said, "You realize if I lose, I'm not cutting my hair, right?" I was like, "Yeah, we'll come up with something different for you. I got you."
Yeah.
For sure.
I think you and I were talking about it last time. We are like, "Man, can we cut his hair? Can we buzz it?"
Yeah, absolutely, you can. Yeah, that's awesome. That's good stuff, man. Yeah, those guys. I can't wait. I plan on going down there sometime next year and hanging out with Julian and Michael Carrera and Rick Glover and Chris Gladden, man, and all of them guys, Cameron and Isaac and whoever's there, and just have a good time. Obviously, you guys heard Jules went down there and got his first knee down experiences with a couple broken clutch levers and flipped a bike and all that good stuff, right? But that's all part of learning, right? It's
sounds like a day at the track.
Sounds like a normal weekend.
Right. Sounds like fun, don't it? Yeah, that's awesome.
Sounds like a good weekend to me.
Yeah, South Florida mini GP. I think that was the first organization I ever went and raced with. So I owe it big time to Michael, and he, to this day, he lets me come out and ride every now and then. So it's he's good people.
Oh, I love all of them. I'm a huge supporter of them. I actually run his logo on my sleeve on Pin the Gas shirt. because what he does for Moto America, for us here in the United States, man, nobody's else doing it. What he's doing, Moto America should step up, man, and give this guy like some money and a full time job just to do this, because what he does is amazing for everybody, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you and I tell everybody this on all the pocket, man. If you ever want to learn how to ride, man, just Michael Carrera, SFL Mini GP. If you can't get in touch with him, get in touch with me. I'll put you direct contact with him. All you do is show up, register, pay a little registration fee, and that's all you need. You don't need boots, helmets, gloves. He got all that, bikes, everything. You just show up, and it'll be the most
Yeah,
fun you ever had on two wheels.
I think Michael could be a good promoter for the Mini GP in Moto America.
Facts.
He would do I think he would
100%.
do a great job.
Yep. I agree.
You see-
I agree. We need to try to make this happen, man. So yeah, I'm a big supporter. I always giving him in the SFL Mini GP a shout out. Yeah, Jillian too, right? Of course. I'm usually wearing Jillian's hat until I got my new Pendagat podcast hat, so I gotta wear it all the time. But I need to actually get a Juju shirt so I can wear it on the podcast. But yeah, I'm a huge actually Rick Glover is the one that come up with our new logo, with our new
cool.
Pendagas podcast logo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a dude. Big shout out to Rick. He's actually an admin on Pendagas on Facebook. He's proper magical. I'm actually getting his son Cooper on the podcast and his rider coach Chris. So they're coming on, which is going to be the first time I had a rider coach and an up and coming proper, kid coming up on the pod, which is going to be great. I think it's going to be awesome because you get the dynamic between the young kid up and comer and the older, been there, raced, AMA, the coach, and you get to see the dynamic duo and how they got together and the whole story, man. I love it. I think it's going to be great. And they're also obviously SFL Mini GP. As I say it again, everybody, Michael Carrera, let's go, right? South Florida. Yeah. Dude,
I got to get down there and go ride. I haven't done any minis I've ridden a supermoto on the track once, and it was like, it's one of those like, okay, I have to buy one of these and build one of these now just for my own shenanigans. But
yeah,
we'll see.
100%. I want to get me a little Honda Grom, man. I think that's what I want, just to go down there and ride little kart tracks.
We've had this conversation. Honda only pays contingency on 2 motorcycles, CBR 1000 Triple R and a Grom. They pay contingency money on a freaking Grom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, ain't that crazy?
I was like,
I think you might have just spoiled my 2024 plans.
There you go.
No,
Y'all heard it
not.
first. 2024. Giacomo Honda Grom, Moto America champion on the Grom, baby. Let's go.
It is pretty wild watching guys go through a corner full, like all the way to the stop, top gear, 70 miles an hour, and the bike's just doing this. Both tires are sliding. I'm like, you guys are, you can have that. Like, I'll do it once. I'll do it on a Grom, but that's about as fast as I want to go sliding anything.
I would do it. I ain't gonna lie. Fuck it out. My bones will heal. David says I need a beanie hat for my bald ass head. Yeah, listen.
Then he can't wear the cowboy hat.
Yeah, right. That cowboy hat, the American one, that was awesome. That's something I need to have made is some beanie hats, man, for sure. I think that would be proper.
Oh, I rock some beanies for sure.
I know. I'm a dude. If you guys, well, obviously you see my dude, this whole top right there is full of nothing but hats. Like, there's probably, I could wear a different hat for probably 3 months straight and not wear the same hat twice. I got a whole drawer full of beanie hats. I mean, it's ridiculous, but you know what? We love what we love. We're men, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's awesome. So listen, what is the future plans?
Yeah.
Besides the Grom, we already established that, right?
You made the grid for Twins Cup at Pittsburgh on an RC.
Yeah. Yes.
Correct.
How was that?
That was cool. That was a cool experience. I definitely proved to myself that I'm capable of running up with with.
Well, hell, I could have told you that at Barber.
But I think what really set in for me was the fact that I only had 2 sessions on that bike at Roebling before that.
Yeah.
And I was able to go faster than I did in the endurance on a bike that I didn't know anything about. And there was a couple of things that were wrong with the bike. Like the suspension was just not working, and I just couldn't figure out what to do with it. And when we went in for Q1, and that was kind of like me getting my feet wet, really, after I crashed in the morning. And that was a learning experience. But I went into Q2 thinking that I could, uh, bring the pace down and be able to run up in the top 10, and that just wasn't the case. And unfortunately, the bike ended up almost blowing up at the start of the race, so they pulled me off track.
Yeah.
Which was a good call. I couldn't understand it at the time. I couldn't see anything wrong with the bike, and actually there wasn't anything wrong yet. But I think if I'd continued, it would have turned into a
Bad.
problem. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then after that, Brandon Cole ended up stepping up and lending me his RS 660 that was bone stock, and I ended up doing practice in the morning and then jumping straight into race 2. And I was running the same lap times that I was running on the R7. And but unfortunately, the gearbox decided, well, I just couldn't make a positive shift anywhere, and especially going into chicane on the last lap, I felt like it grenaded itself, so I wasn't gonna push it to try to get to the end. And it was unfortunate because all I had to do was cross the finish line, and I would have finished in whatever 15th position or something. But uh, something told me that it wasn't worth going to destroy a buddy's bike that just lent it to you. So I pulled off, and I would say next time now I know I would have gone through with it because you can always replace a gearbox. It's
Yeah.
but yeah, that was my first time experience at Moto America.
And
That's
as someone who
awesome.
races SVs and his races, whose thought process was, I just want to make the grid for a Twins Cup race. Personally, the first time a 660 came past me, I went, nope, not doing it.
Yeah,
Because I'm
it's
coming
so
up the
hard.
hill. Oh God, that's such a cheater bike. Like for those of us who are just SV dorks, but it's like you'd see a 660 roll up and like, oh great, you're here, awesome.
Yeah.
Now I got to deal with
And,
you.
and even on an R7, I mean the bike, Blake's bike was working really well. I will say that that R7 was, I mean, insane compared to what other bikes, other R7s I've seen. But I could not get like a, a good lap on the thing. Like, there was just some things that I just could not settle with. Like the front end just didn't feel uh, what I've always been used to it feeling. And
I know
but
why. Everyone has been fighting with R7s and MT07s with
yeah,
front end feel. And I know exactly why. That frame is too soft.
yeah. And coming from, it's like a bicycle frame. I mean, really, you look at how the frame is built, and you're like, what were they thinking? But yeah, like coming from an SV or an RS is even better. But even just the SV is like I think it's sturdy, and it's not a race bike, but it feels, the front end feels a lot better than the R7 felt.
Yeah. Like I was
Yeah.
talking with Parrish, he was having a lot of problems with the front end just chattering away. And it seems like from the conversations that he and I have had, like it likes lighter weight riders. That's why Blake is so good on him, because Blake's really fast, don't get me wrong, but he's also a skinny dude. So it's
Yeah,
like, okay, we get it.
yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I could agree to that. And Jackson was really good at making that bike go fast because
Yes,
Yeah.
he
that
was.
bike was not set up right. Even his bike was not set up right the whole year, and so it was impressive to see. I think if he had more support and more knowledge behind him on the suspension side, he could have done better. But yeah, that R7 was a toughie.
The motors are good. The motors can be good as
That's
long as you
about
board
it.
them.
Yeah, that's
His
about it.
motor was really fast. He had the fastest
Yeah,
trap speed almost everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Daytona, he was up by 3 miles an hour on everybody. I mean, that was ridiculous.
What was the trap speed on that bike at Daytona?
I can't remember exactly at this
Okay.
at this moment, but
Yeah,
it
I'm not
was
sure.
it was the fastest R7.
Oh, they're again, you set them up right, you build the motor right, they're awesome. But
Yeah.
again,
Yeah,
the minute you go to the brakes and try and make it turn, It's not great.
Yeah, I remember when they first released, they said, "Oh, we're coming out with new R7." I was like, "Yes, thank God, another 750 like the R7. Let's go!" And then I seen this, I was like, "What the fuck is this? A parallel twin? This ain't an R7. Get out of here!" Right?
Well, I get them naming the reason why everybody's got a parallel twins because the motors are cheaper to
Well, I
build.
know, I know, I
But yeah,
know.
it's all
Old school
semantics.
proper R7. I was like,
Oh,
"Yes,
look,
let's go!"
I am not arguing that. I've thrown my
I
leg
know.
over an old school R7,
Yeah, dude,
and yeah,
yes.
but anyway,
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so the RS660, you're right. When it did come out, I mean, it's still that is the bike to be on in the Twins Cup class. Let's just be honest, right? Because you don't have to really put a lot of engine work into it. It's pretty much ready to go out the box, throw a pipe and Power Commander 6 or whatever, Pizzazz or whatever you want to put on it, and
Yeah.
get the
Well,
suspension set up, and you're ready to rip.
and with everything that Matt Spicer at Rubber Engineering's done, I mean, you could buy a package bike from him, and it's perfect. It's what they've been running all year, and it's proven they've had put that bike in the endurance, and I mean, it's made it through multiple weekends, I believe, on that same motor. So, very good bikes for sure. Yeah.
How much is one of his bikes come set up? Do you
Not
know?
100% sure. Not 100% sure. I believe they're in the
30s.
30
Yeah,
30s.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say $30,000. I
I
mean,
know
think
one.
about that. That's expensive, man. Right? thirty
Hey,
thousand dollars.
But if you
okay.
think about it,
No,
it's
it's
really
not. No,
not.
as far as a racing standpoint, you're right. But to us mere mortals, we look like $30,000 for an RS660. What are you kidding me right now? I could buy a brand new Panigale V4 S.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And spank it, yeah, in a straight line. But yeah, okay,
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know what you
I
can't do with
agree.
that V4S? Race Twins Cup.
yeah. Facts, right? And then my man Curtis Woodworth, what is going on, man? I had such a great time hanging out with Curtis and Keith and all of them from yeah, they're such great people. He says a Z125. So what is the major difference between a Z? Obviously one's a Kawasaki, one a Honda, but what's they're to me when I look at them, they're basically the same, right? Both little 25cc singles. There can't be much horsepower difference between the two. I mean, let's just be
I
honest,
think
right?
on a racing side, the Z definitely seems more racy. Like the you know the
The way it's made.
yeah, like the wheels are closer together, and it I don't know, the Grom just seems like a couch,
I
like an
gotcha.
SV.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay, okay,
Like
okay.
yeah.
Grom is the SV of pit bikes or like
That'll
mini
work.
bikes.
Yeah,
That
that
works.
works. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
you
but
never did really answer the question on
yeah.
what's 2024. What's up with that? What were we doing in 2024 besides the Grom champion?
Yeah, well, hopefully some racing. I'm still working out the details. Uh, I'll be honest, I can't really say much on what we're gonna do next year, but there's definitely something in the works, and I'd like to be in a on a super sport bike in the next class, and I feel like Um, I'm not at the age anymore to be in Twins Cup, and even though there's plenty of other people that are or were my age when they won a championship in Twins Cup, but I don't feel like I could really grow into that class. So definitely trying to do something on a super sport, and uh, I think also with my racing background with supermoto, that will fit better my riding style. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to put all the pieces together right now, and yeah, trying to make something work for next year.
I,
Cool.
listen, we can't wait to hear all about it, right? Everybody listen, we can't wait. So let me ask you this. You don't have no plans, you can't say right now, but if you had any choice of a 600cc bike you could personally race in super sport, what bike would it be? The Jix
Well,
750, the Ducati, Yamaha R6.
yeah, well, right now, of course, the bike to be on would be the V2. But that's whether I want to ride or not. I would absolutely love to ride a V2, but that is pretty far fetched for me. I think right now, considering just the cost of Ducati parts is off the chain. So, but I would love to ride a Triumph. I've always
675, yeah.
loved yeah, those bikes are I mean, I love the sound of it. I've got to ride the Daytona bike at the dealership before, and I mean those motors are they're
They're
cool as heck.
insane. Yeah, my buddy had one. It was a '08 blew a head gasket, but man, that thing was sweet. I was like, dude, this thing's it's proper. It'll get
They're
up and go. It
real
was light, it was nimble. Yeah, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I really did. So let's get away from motorcycles, Giacomo. What do you do to just to have fun and relax? Obviously, we know the mountain biking, right? But are you an Xbox or PlayStation guy?
Actually, I just got an Xbox when I broke my collarbone, and my buddy lent me his Xbox. I've never had a PlayStation, never had an Xbox. I think I had a Wii when I was a kid, and I used to play
Yeah, right.
Guitar Hero or something
Yeah.
like that. But I haven't been much of a PlayStation or Xbox kind of guy. Just kind of always been mountain biking, to be honest. I remember my mom telling me like, as long as you're back by the time the sun is down, then you'll be
Yeah.
fine. And that's all I used to do. So,
Right.
no, I can't complain. I will say I definitely had a childhood that was different from most of other people. But I absolutely loved it. Loved every single minute of it. But yeah, I actually just got, so like I said, my friend lent me that Xbox, and I got myself a simulator set up.
There
Oh,
we go.
nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
Nice. I'm jealous, man. That's what I want to do is get me a simulator.
yeah, so I've been playing a little bit of Formula One, and dirt rally is what I like a lot.
Nice.
And yeah, actually, that is true. That I did have a steering wheel when I was a kid. My dad bought me a steering wheel. It was one of those like 100 euros, $100, and I used to play dirt rally, Colin McCree or McCrae,
Yep, the curry. Yep.
yeah, man, I remember sitting there on that computer and just playing that like a lot of the winter nights, and that was pretty cool.
That Brennan says, Guitar, what a proper E Carolina boy representing that Southern twang. That's awesome. That's good stuff. So,
Oh God.
who is Brennan?
He races a 600 in, I believe, did he do Moto America? I'm not sure if he did Moto America or not, but I see him around in Ware a lot, and he's good friends with Philip Hart, so they sponsor Ryan. And yeah, he's a cool guy. We had our laughs.
That's awesome. So, obviously, Formula One, you don't play no motorcycle games on the Xbox?
I don't, not really. I've never been, like I said, never played Xbox or like with the joystick, so I've never really. I
Okay,
suck.
yeah.
I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
well,
Like
you got
every
the
time we go,
simulator.
yeah, every time we go somewhere, especially at Jackson's house, like he'll play MXGP or something like that. I'm just like, I can't even.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Netflix, what's your favorite Netflix series?
Recent, I just got done watching. Well, it's not on Netflix, but Ted
Any
Lasso.
series. Dude, listen,
Yes.
I'm watching Ted now. Dude, Roy is my fucking dude, bro.
Yeah.
Roy Kent, bitch.
Roy Kent.
Yes. That's my dude right there. Yeah, dude. What a great show, man.
Yeah, I absolutely love those types of shows.
Yeah, me
I
too.
feel like there's a lot to take from those to learn, and no, that's cool. But on another note, I watched Prison Break. That was my favorite TV show of all time.
That was good.
And another one was Ted. No, what was it called? Ted.
With the teddy bear and Mark Wahlberg.
No, the the serial killer butcher.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The Butcher of Plainfield.
Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter.
Dexter.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
that was
was
one
that
of
was
my
good.
favorite ones.
Dude, I hated
My-
the way that fucking series ended, though. You
Oh, it
kidding
was
me right
horrible.
now? I was like, what
Horrible the way that show
fuck?
ended.
Terrible. Yep.
Dude, it was yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
they
So
bring it back for like a season or something like
yeah,
that?
but I don't think it did. Where he was in like Alaska or some bullshit or wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did. I couldn't.
I thought they were gonna, continue it and go somewhere with it, but I guess not. They just left us all hanging.
Yeah. Yeah. So Brennan says, still waiting on you to bring that dirt scooter up to North Carolina. Give me some dirt track lessons.
Yeah, we were just there. We do corner spin every now and then.
I have
and,
got to sign up for one of those.
Well,
I have
Aaron
got to do that.
Stevenson. Yep. I want to do
Absolutely.
it too. I want to.
I've got to
Absolutely,
come do
yeah.
that.
if you haven't done it yet, I don't know what you're waiting on because it's really good.
Funding and time off from work and
Right. Yeah. All that
Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah. But
You
listen,
know,
Daniel, that's something we should do together, man, for
Bro,
sure. Yeah.
we will. Like, I know they just released the schedule for 24, didn't they?
I believe
Have
so.
they?
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, we will figure this out, and
Yeah,
we will
we'll
make it
figure it out.
a YouTube
Well,
video out of
Yeah.
something.
For
This
sure.
time of year, best time to go. That's when the dirt is prime, and Aaron's got a lot more time to do schools and weather permitting, of course. Like the track is always perfect. Like the last time we went, it was blue groove all the way around the short track and blue groove in some of the turns down at the TT track. I mean, it's awesome.
I've got to go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I do too, man. Every time I see it, I'm like, dude, I want to go so bad. Erica says, and he let Ryan break
I
his
saw
hand.
that. I saw that.
Man, I felt so bad for
So,
Ryan because
another story, Giacomo. What is up, man?
well, Ryan drove
Ryan being Ryan, probably.
yeah, Ryan being Ryan. No, he drove like 5-7 hours to come down there, and then like we do 2 sessions, and he crashes and breaks his hand and doesn't get to ride the next day. I felt so bad, and he was a champ. Like he stayed at the house after that night and didn't say a word, but I could tell he was hurt, and yeah, that just sucked, man. Like that was unfortunate, but we were just riding. I honestly, I didn't even see it. He said he grabbed a handful of front brake and the front tucked. And I will say I did crash twice that day doing that exact same thing. Just like the ground was so slick. Just tucked the front. Actually, I took a pretty gnarly crash. Second session of the day, I jumped one of the curbs and landed on a wet spot, and my front end just like tucked like this in front of everybody. Like I'm supposed to be the coach, and this guy piled onto me, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's not good." I wadded my bike up. I had a
You stood up and was like, "I was just showing you guys what not to do. That's all I was doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. I'm good. We're good.
Do as I say, not as I do on this one.
Right.
Okay?
I was showing you what not to do. Yeah. So let me ask you this: celebrity crush.
Ooh. That's a tough one. I forget her name, but she's the girl in War Dog.
War Dog.
What's her name?
I've seen that.
Hang on.
I gotta look it up real quick.
Hang on, I'm on it.
And we're on the case. War Dogs. I love it. This is awesome. Ron says, I was chilling. We'll be back. That's awesome. He also says,
oh, it's Anna. Anna de
yeah,
Armas.
Anna de Arms. That's it. Yep.
Oh my god, dude. Something about her.
Bro.
I'm with you.
Chris, don't do it. I already know this. I already know the movie you're trying to tell him. It's her, one other girl, and Keanu Reeves. That's all we're leaving it at.
What's the name of the movie?
You're the one that told Ryan about it.
I know.
You or Jules?
No, it was Jules. It wasn't me.
Oh,
I was
Jules
like, yeah.
Jules, put the name of the movie in the comments, and we're gonna leave it alone.
Yeah.
Trust us. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, man, I keep hearing about this.
Guess what movie I'm watching tonight?
Yeah, exactly. Hang on, we'll find it.
Yeah. We just gave it away. Yeah, that's awesome. That's good stuff. So let me ask you this: if we made a movie about your life, what movie star would play you?
Ooh, I mean, man, that I got to give it some thought.
All right, we'll come back to that one. Just go.
The movie is Knock Knock.
Knock Knock.
Knock Knock.
Knock Knock.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else.
That's it.
Watch the movie. You can thank me tomorrow.
Okay.
Facts.
Thank me tomorrow.
I heard the Clint picking too, right? Yeah. Facts. Yeah.
Had to write it down.
Wrote it down. Yeah. I mean, when you get older, man, you gotta have post-it notes, right? I used to make fun of my mom, dude. I gotta utilize my calendar on my phone. If not, I forget everything.
I'm all for it. I got whiteboards here,
dude.
whiteboard there.
Dude. If not, I'm a freaking lunatic because I'm like, oh my god, I got shit to do, but I don't know where I'm supposed to go or who I'm supposed to talk to. Yeah, it's crazy. He says, Brennan says he is a freaking star. That's
It
right.
happens.
It does happen. So are you into conspiracies? Like, do you believe in aliens or conspiracy theories or anything like that?
I'm not opposed to them.
Okay.
I think you know, I think there might be some truth and there might be
Yeah.
some false, but
Yeah.
uh,
I'm with
I
it.
I like to think that there's some things that we don't know about.
That's right. That's right. I mean, the government did come out and say, yeah, there is aliens, right? But
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the weird thing
so
is, everything that was going on, nobody cared. That's
that,
how
yeah,
bad
Oh yeah.
everything was
right.
going.
It just makes you mad that they kept lying about it all these years, and all of a sudden they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we
When
fucking lied
everybody
to you.
cared.
Right, right,
Yeah. Then
right.
nobody
Now
cared.
it's like everybody's like, yeah,
Whatever.
we know, yeah,
Yeah,
We got
aliens.
other stuff going on.
that flew right over like everybody's head. I mean,
It did.
that was crazy to see that. Yeah.
I know. I was nobody reacted to it. I was waiting. Nobody said shit. I was like, okay, fuck it, whatever.
Whatever.
It is what it is, right? So let's talk a little bit about MotoGP season, fellas. Right? What a season, bro! Man, I ain't gonna lie. I was Team Martin, man. I wanted to see Jorge Martin, and I just feel like, listen, I like Pecco too, right? So just hear me out real quick. To me, Jorge Martin has a more natural talent than Pecco. Pecco has to work at it harder, to me, that I see, than Martin, right? But Pecco's got it together more mentally in his head than Martin does, right? Meaning that when there's high pressure on, he does make mistakes, but he's kind of cured from that. We could say
Hmm.
kind of somewhat, right? Um, but yeah, I was rooting for Martin, man, because I wanted to see a underdog, right, and a non-factory team actually win the title, right? Which hear me out real quick, hear me out. Ducati was in this big dilemma because if Jorge Martin won the title, Ducati was gonna kick Enea Bastianini out, put Jorge Martin in it because they couldn't stand having a number one plate on a non-factory Ducati bike, right? Hence 2024. Now we have Marquez on a Gresini Honda, which everybody already knows he's going to whoop everybody's ass, right? Let's just go on and say he's going to do good. Is he going to win the title? We don't know, but they're right back in the same predicament they was this year with Martin and Pecco, but
Yeah.
actually it's a little bit worse because now you're fucking with Marquez, right? And he did really good on his first test, right? Yeah, we all know he's not going to get the upgrades that Pecco and Bastianini's going to get, right? But he's on a 2023 champion winning bike, so it's already a proven all arounder bike, right? So it's gonna be an interesting year. Of course, baby Jeebus on. I know Daniel. I know you're waiting, baby Jeebus on the gas, right? I mean, first time out.
I'm gonna let Giacomo
Yeah.
make say his opinion before I'm gonna say anything.
Yeah, that's fine. It's to me, it's gonna be very very exciting next year. Alex Rins on the Yamaha. Yeah, it's gonna be proper. Of course, the news with RNF, everybody knows, right? RNF is turning around trying to sue Drono with all this bullshit that's been going on. Supposedly the owner ain't paid no bills, so they're kicking him out. Hence, Miguel Oliveira was not at the test yesterday, right? He was the only
Yeah.
one missing. The reason why Raul was there because yeah, he's still contracted with Aprilia like them, but from my information, they only had like I guess one test bike there, and they gave it to Raul. So but yeah, so there's a lot going on and a lot to be said. We'll just talk about MotoGP right now, real quick, because there's World Superbike and all that other shit. But yeah, man. So what do you think, man? Marquez on the Ducati, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting year. I think from straight from the test. I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen his smirk. Like you
Dude.
can tell he
Yeah,
loves that thing.
yeah.
But I think even more impressive is Luca Marini, who he was
He did good.
close.
Yeah.
He did. I think he
10th.
was points. Yeah,
Yeah.
point six of a second. Fat or slower or faster than Marquez was this whole weekend. Like, I mean, that on a Honda that supposedly is unrideable, like that is really impressive. So, yeah, hats off to Luca Marini, and he did a great job at showing everybody that that bike is still capable, and I think um, Mark is probably needed a different spark, and that Ducati is that spark that he was looking for. So, um, but yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. I think Pecco Bagnaia is got he's gonna for sure he's gonna go push and try to go for the championship again, but he doesn't have the pressure he had before. I wouldn't mind seeing a Martin go up top and win a championship, but it'll definitely be hard having Marquez on a competitive bike, for sure.
Everybody remember that video that circulated on YouTube for a while? It was the Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. And it's exactly what's going to happen with Marquez.
Yeah.
Marquez is going to show up at the first race and go, "Oh, y'all forgot who I am." Oh,
you forgot who the fuck I am? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, look, it's
like the
Pecco
Boys
Bagnaia,
TV show.
Pecco Bagnaia looks like a philosophy student that lives in Milan. That's what he looks like. That's what he looks like. He is an absolute killer. Martin is the fastest guy on a MotoGP bike on the planet. 100% over 3 laps. He's the best because he won how many sprint races this year? Mm-hmm. Bikes don't work up till after about 5 laps. We learned that from the Spees podcast. So it's either one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to be an absolute barn burner of a season like it was this year, or Marquez is going to destroy all. And Pecco and Martin are going to battle for, and when something happens, they're going to be right there with it. But like, it's going to be another Ducati season because, and everybody was talking about, Vinales was top of testing. You mean Captain Saturday?
Yeah, it's just
come on. Yeah. As much as I like Maverick's riding style, he's not a racer. He's a time attack guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right. And then with the whole RNF thing, those guys got screwed so bad the minute Petronas left. Yeah. The minute they left, that team, it was the writing was on the wall for that team when Petronas left.
Yeah.
So
I agree. And let's touch base on Honda real quick. Like, it is a brand new bike, and they've been in dilemma. They just lost Marc Marquez, so yeah, they threw the kitchen sink at it the best they could. The bike did improve. So if people watching this or listening to this, even if you missed it, you can go back and watch it as soon as it ends, or Spotify, or blah blah blah. Pod being tomorrow. But the point I'm trying to make is they threw everything at it. They wanted to prove themselves, not one because Marquez left, so they want to say, hey, look what you could have been on, right? Hence, if you watched it, Marquez actually slowed down when Mir come out and followed him, right, to take a good look at the Honda because it was completely different frame. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
I still, man, I think until the Japanese actually change the way they work and go more of a European style way of working, I think they're going to continue to struggle. Okay, I really do, because it all starts within. They need to take a big lesson from the European guys and actually listen to the riders, right? And listen to what they're asking for instead of the guy behind the computer going, he don't know what the fuck he's talking about because my data right here says this. And the rider's like, bullshit, because this is what I feel right here, right? Just change it to this and see me go, right? But yeah, they do. You're right, Daniel, 110%. But my biggest problem with Ducati is, too, everybody knows I'm a huge fan, is, man, why the fuck did MotoGP let them have 8 bikes on the grid? Are you kidding me right now? Like, dude, it blows my fucking mind.
It's literally, they don't like, okay, Dorna's Spanish, right?
Yes.
So Honda's probably about to lose Repsol as a sponsor at the end of the year, into next year. Where are they going to go? Who's going to have the factory Honda team? Because the factory Honda team's been a Repsol since Mick Doohan was on the thing. Mm-hmm. They lost Red Bull last year because Mark left. So
this year, yeah.
Where's all the sponsorship money going to go other than the top teams?
Yeah, I don't know.
We gonna see a Red Bull team running a Ducati on top of all the KTM money?
I hope that Droner just steps up and is like, look, the max you can have is 4 bikes. Each manufacturer 4 bikes, right?
That's
or 6. But it just seems like to me Ducati's got an unfair advantage to everybody, right? Because you got such a broad ride of various styles of riders, right? So you're getting all this technical data.
Well,
you look at KTM too. KTM put in a lot of time, a lot of money into developing that bike, and
RC. Yeah,
I don't see why in the next couple of years there'd be 2 or 3 teams with KTMs. Yeah. And gas. I mean, there already is.
There is. Yeah.
They were trying to get a Husqvarna factory team when Suzuki left, but Dorna was like, "No, we have to have it for another factory." Like, what other factory is showing up? On top of the fact, KTM also owns MV Augusta now.
Yeah, they do. You're right. Yeah. And then
Have-
BMW's been talking about coming in MotoGP for what, 5 years, 6
BMW
years?
ain't
I
gonna
mean,
do it.
I
They're
don't
never
think
gonna
they
show
will
up.
either. Nah, I
BMW is
don't either.
never gonna show up in GP. They're gonna stick to World Superbike. BMW, that's not in the character of that company.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I
it's just not
agree.
gonna-
So we actually have a question for everybody from Brennan. He says, "What's everyone's thoughts on SDK coming home? Thoughts on his potential future plans, straight into Superbike?" So, listen, God damn it, dude! Like I get so pissed off about the Moto America, the Moto 2 team there, man. It's like, how are you gonna be an American team and kick off your only American rider on the team, right? I was so pissed off. I know there's a lot of politics that go along with this, right? I get it. Man, dude, I think SDK is fucking proper mega fast, and he's gonna come back and kick some ass. Is what he's gonna do. That's exactly what SDK is gonna do.
Here's the problem. Here's gonna be the issue. Where's he gonna ride?
I don't know.
Who's gonna put him on a bike? Because when he comes back, like BMW's gone.
Yeah, Tyler's is gone.
Tyler's just gone. BMW's gone. M4's locked up with Richie
Scott
and
Richie
Posh.
and
Pop
Posh.
Brandon. Like
Yeah.
we're talking Superbike right now.
Okay.
So Heron's locked in with Warhorse.
Ducati. Yeah.
They're not going to bring another Superbike in.
Mhm.
I don't think, because
I don't think neither.
I'm not commenting on things I don't know.
Yeah.
Yamaha. Why would you screw that team up? I'm sorry.
They
Cameron had the worst luck out of everybody on the grid with that thing. So, and Jake, you gonna cut Jake Gagne loose for SDK? Who's gonna pick him? Who's gonna put him on a Superbike? I don't see him going on a Superbike. I see him possibly coming back and getting on doing a support ride for Super Sport on that ZX6 Tytler's bike, unless Stefano's running it. So, like SDK could get in and do something on a Super Sport. I don't see him doing anything on a Superbike right now, or a Stock 1000. Dude, Stock 1000 is West Coast as that race series is going to be. That's going to be your most cost-effective way to get back on the Moto America grid. So, like, that's the only thing I can think of. Like, he's not going to, unless he funds it himself or somebody makes another team, he's not going to be on a Superbike ride.
Yeah, I've heard rumors of SDK being on a Superbike team, and I can't remember what those rumors were, like what team, but it seems like there was a couple of people talking about it, so I don't see why it couldn't happen. But yeah, I'm not sure where he would, what team and what bike, and
I'm not saying don't. The kid's fast.
Oh yeah, he's phenomenal.
Real fast.
Yeah,
but
he is. You're right. There is no room.
Who's going to do it?
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Like bring back some of the old rivalries, between like him and Posh and
Richie.
And
Richie.
yeah,
they battled that shit out in the 600 class. God damn, dude, that was proper racing. Yeah. So along with the Tylers, let's touch base on that. Right, we all know that unfortunately they left. We still don't know what's going to happen with Cam Bobier. We don't know where he's going. Right. Well, I haven't heard anything. Have you guys heard anything on where Cam's going to be? Obviously,
after that crash at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and then Richie
going home and hanging out.
Yeah, and then Corey Alexander, right? We still hadn't heard where Corey's going to be, right? But I also heard that somebody else is supposed to come into Moto America. I'm not exactly sure who it is. Another team supposedly supposed to come in. So it's just rumors. I don't know. Don't quote me 100% on that.
I know Tyler sold the bikes, so because Stefano was on it at the ASR race in Daytona.
Yep.
JD went down and tested it. I saw JD testing baggers in Bowling Green, which I adore JD. He's the nicest guy in the world, but that little dude on a bagger is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Looks like an Ewok on a speeder bike. Like, what are we doing? Like,
that's a good analogy. Ewok on a speeder bike. I love
JD is. I adore watching him ride. He's the nicest guy in the world. I've talked to him a few times. He pulled up in his van. I was like, "Hey, can I look at the van? Because I'm trying to decide if I'm going to buy it, how I'm going to do this." So I was just looking at his van. He's like, "Yeah, go look at it." I was like, "All right, cool." But like, where's he going? Like JD's coming back. Because Estenson's only running Dallas Daniels and Twins in the flat track next year. Yeah. So JD's coming back. Where? We don't know. So who's going to – SDK could be on that Warhorse bike because apparently Chavi's going back to Europe.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I did hear that. I did hear Chavi was going back to Europe. So I don't know if
So
that's 100%, but that's
SDK could be on a V2.
yeah, that's what that's the news I'm getting to. But we'll see. And Chris Gladden, what's up, people? What is up, Chris? My man. Um, Yeah, I mean, dude, there's just so much going on, right? There's so much on with Moto America, on with World Superbike, right? We ain't even touched on Top Rack with the BMW, right?
We
Of
ain't even
course,
sat on that bike yet.
I know, right? Which is,
Oh, it
man,
makes me so mad.
it makes me mad too, right? I get
Yeah,
what Yamaha side of it, but also, man, it's like, look, if you delayed them 2 months to get on the bike, let's say, even if you didn't, the outcome's still going to be the same. He's either going to whoop ass on it or he's not going to whoop ass on it. I mean, let's just be honest, right? It's one or the other.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
I I think Johnny Ray. Hang on, I think Johnny Ray is going to adapt a little bit quick. Of course, he's got 2 months or a couple days testing to be ahead of the game. But let's say they started the same. I still think Johnny Ray would adapt a little bit easier to the Yamaha than it would be to the BMW, just from watching previous seasons on everybody that's gotten on that BMW, right? Because they've had some kick ass riders on the BMW, right? And
yeah.
so, yeah, it's going to be exciting. What do you think, Giacomo?
I think Jonathan has got. I don't know if you guys have seen any of his videos lately, but
YouTube's, yeah.
uh, it. I think for Yamaha is definitely a big marketing move as well.
Mhm.
Having Jonathan, somebody that can speak English and make content like that is a huge step for them. And but I think he mashed right in with Yamaha. I think he'll be a tough contestant to deal with next year, and it'll be interesting if the BMWs can improve from last year. And I mean, Toprak is an insane rider, so I don't see why he couldn't be at the top. But we've seen riders like Gerloff get on that BMW and struggle, and so
Loris
yeah.
Haas.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
it's definitely interesting. I mean, it seems like everything's getting moved around a lot this year, compared to other years where it's just kind of like little movements here and there. Uh, but yeah, big steps, and it'll definitely shake things up on the grid.
And
can
Ian
we?
None being
I,
back.
I was getting ready to
Up
say
the
that.
Maniac.
Yes, the maniac, baby. Let's go,
I love watching him ride. He didn't
man.
give a shit.
Dude,
I
listen,
love that.
I always said this.
Didn't
I
care.
always told people that Ducati made a mistake by getting rid of Iannone and keeping Dovey. Man, they should have kicked Dovey's ass to the curb. I'd have kept Iannone, especially after that headbutt of that bird. I'm like, dude, he's in. Absolutely, he's in after that, right? At Phillip Island, where he headbutted that seagull coming down. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was. Yeah, I always liked the maniac style, man. I always liked. Yeah, he's going to be proper. So next year's going to be proper. BSB too, right? Everybody knows I'm a huge BSB fan. BSB next year is going to be proper.
Bradwell just left PBM.
Yeah, Bradwell's not going to be back on PBM. They did keep Glenn Irvin, so that means he's going to get a new teammate next year. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but yeah, I'll find out here pretty soon.
Yeah,
It's going
we
to
all will.
be
Yeah.
it's going to be proper. The Alla racing is going to be really good next year, right? You got MotoGP, and the cool thing about GP though, man, is that everybody's contracts up in 2024 except Luca Marini and Brad Binder. Those will be the only two in 2025 that their contracts won't be up at the end of 2024 because Binder just signed another 4-year deal?
3.
Okay, a 3-year deal
Oh,
with
wow.
KTM. Yeah, and then Luca Marini signed a 2-year deal with Honda, so 24 and 25.
Tire contract is up at the end of 25.
Oh, dude, check it out. And then Pirelli and Moto 2. Yes, dude.
Hang on.
Yes.
Tire contract is up in 26. The formula changes in 27. So we're getting all new rules package in 27.
Yeah, I know.
So everybody's kind of just getting through this and everything else. The biggest problem for me is we're not getting a new front tire from Michelin until 2020, until the contract's up.
Yeah, and you bullshit because they brought it to the test. Didn't they just bring it to the test so they could try?
No, they
it?
haven't. They announced they weren't going to have one until at least the middle of the year 24. So that's why we see all of the aero and everything else going because the front tire is so junk. Nobody can use it the way the Bridgestone was because the Bridgestone, from everything I've read and everything Matt Oxley and all the guys that over there that know what they're talking about, they're saying like that Bridgestone was great until it wasn't, and you knew it was going to happen. So that's why everybody's using both front and rear brakes to slow the bike down. That's why you see Bender and Jack sideways slowing the bike down because the rear tire is so much better than the front.
I love
So
his style.
I mean, you talk back to like when Casey Stoner used to race, and he'd say the same thing, not about the tires in particular, but just how those bikes ride. Is
oh,
he claims he never had good feelings with the front end, so that's why he always rode sideways dirt track style. And
yeah,
but yeah, I don't think it's not a coincidence that in a championship like MotoGP where they have one tire manufacturer, that there can be so much of a gap in quality of tires. Like that should not be a thing, an issue. Yeah. So it'd be interesting. I'm sure Michelin is trying to do everything to fix that problem. But it'd be interesting if I would love to see a 2-tire, like it used to be back in the day, or like you get to pick your tires, and you have different brands to pick through, and I think that would shake things up a lot.
I do too. I
Like-
agree.
the crazy one was back in right before World Superbike happened. They had that Formula 750 or whatever.
Yep.
World
The
Championship.
Formula that what is the TT1, the Formula
It was
TT1 or something
Formula
like that.
750.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to look, but it was a big tire. Like you could run whatever tire. There was a company they were doing. Or a couple of like the top guys were doing like a Dunlop front and a Michelin rear. And they did the test, and that's what worked. And like you could see,
That's cool.
You'll catch the bikes in museums that are just the way they came off. And sure enough, Michelin and I'm like, I don't know if I would even want to try and test that. Thank you, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like that just makes. And then they had, I don't know if you watched. There's a Shaky Burn video where he goes to Chris, you have to have seen this. It's the greatest Ducati collection of all time. And
I've
this guy's
seen it.
office.
Absolutely. Yes.
One disc is steel, the other disc is carbon on the front.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
For Mr. Ferracci did that crap here
Yeah.
in the U.S. running the Formula USA or Formula 750 or whatever it was. Like, yeah, I'm just like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Ducati collection video, James Byrne, oh my God, he's got this. I don't know what this guy does for a living to make the amount of money to buy the bikes that he's got in that shit.
It's insane.
It's a $5 million Ducati collection, easy.
Oh, at least it's heaven.
Wild.
Dang.
It is a little slice of heaven. This is from Rick Glover.
Oh,
have they? Yeah, absolutely. Enea Bastianini, they kept him, which also comes to the fact that I don't think Jorge Martin's going to be with Ducati after 2024. I think he's going to jump ship for sure.
I think he could. I think Aprilia is a good landing spot for him.
Yep, I do too. And I think
that probably going to leave soon.
Yeah, I think Aleix is gonna asparagus as we call him, is gonna. Yeah, I think he's coming to the end. Man, he just showed a shitty side of him in the sport, right? When he smacked Franco Morbidelli, dude. Listen, you'd have tried that shit with Jack Miller, he'd have got off that bike and whooped your ass right there on TV, man. Like,
no, I mean, back in the day, you would have had a pit posse around your canopy. I don't see how they allowed that, and especially what the FIA did to him. Like, I mean, it was $10,000. I mean, to them, it's like it's nothing.
Yeah,
and of course they're gonna do it again because to them it's nothing. So
give him a 2-second grid penalty and see what happens.
Yeah, like 8 positions, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing is they put them right one next to each other.
Right next to each other. I was, dude, Giacomo, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing, man? Like, what?
It's about to be really good TV.
Right. It's about to be a soap opera. And man, let's just be honest. I've always been a Franco Morbidelli fan. Dude, I would love to see Franco turn his career around and actually do really good again.
He's got a cool story behind him too. He's gone through a lot too.
He's gone through a lot. A lot of people
to be
don't
where
realize.
he is.
Yes, he really has. So if it wasn't for Rossi, really stepping up, who knows? Because he was racing Superbike at one Italian Superbike, wasn't he?
Stock 600.
Okay, Stock 600. That's right. Yeah.
In the CIV, and then I think he did some CEV.
Yep,
every now and
CEV.
then.
Yep, and then so his dad passed. Well, his dad, yeah, did
I
yeah,
think he
everybody.
passed away at a
Yeah.
young age, and was
Well, no,
always
his dad actually passed away. It was probably what 6 years ago, I think,
oh
5 years ago, like that. He actually I think committed suicide, and he was going through a real bad time with that.
oh
And if you notice what he was doing in 20, I think it was at the end of 2020 because you notice where he was kicking ass that season. Then after that, it was just fucking.
yeah.
It
Well, I
happened
mean,
around
that's
that
a
time
legitimate
too.
excuse.
It is no, yeah, for sure.
But
But
like, yeah,
I want to see him turn around. I really
wasn't he the
do.
first like ranch kid to go to MotoGP? Like
I think
VR46
so.
ranch?
Yeah.
He was.
He was their first champion too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
He
was it? 2018,
Yeah,
2017.
Moto
He
3
won the
or Moto
motor.
2 championship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an
Oh,
OG for sure. Like
Yeah.
he's
He's an
been around
OG.
that VR46 group for a while, and
I just
yeah, I
want to go
think
sit and watch that.
I know.
You
Me
know,
too.
just sit and watch. I want nothing. I'm gonna sit back here with a beer and a popcorn. Just go, okay, you guys have fun. I'm gonna sit there and watch and
Yeah.
laugh at all of y'all.
I would too. And
yeah,
then I'd also sneak back there to the kitchen and be like, "What you cooking back here?" Because
Yeah,
I'm hungry. I'm smelling that. Yeah. What you cooking back here?
yeah. I think 2 years ago when I went back for the supermoto stuff, I got to spend the summer with Kevin Bondi and with some of my buddies. Went to see the ranch, and that was a cool time. Like that whole area is just it's like that's their culture. Like everybody, you see 14-year-old kids riding souped up scooters everywhere, mopeds. And it's just yeah, you go to the bar on a Sunday and they're playing the race on the TV, and the
awesome.
owner's got 50 signed T-shirts, and it's just cool.
That's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. But listen, fellas, dude, we're an hour and 30 minutes into this, and it don't even seem that long, does it? It's
No.
always go by like this. But listen, so we'll go ahead and in this here in a few minutes. You fellas hang on tight after this is over. But listen, Giacomo, why can't tell everybody how they can find you on social media and plug yourself in and all your sponsors and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so yeah, on Instagram I'm Giacomo_Manera, and then I have a little Manera Racing _59. That's another page where I post every now and then. Yeah, I got to give a huge shout out to 1X. They supported me for a year now, and we'll continue to work together throughout next year. And I mean, they've done so much for me, and just their suits they're badass, and they got some pretty cool designs that you can pick for. But yeah, them and I mean, of course, Russell, Robum Engineering, and kind of everybody that helped us through the endurance this year. Kaufman Trailers, he was a huge help with the tires, and of course Pirelli tires. And I'm forgetting a few. Ultimate Textiles always backed me up since I was a kid. And Carolina Supermoto is the first kart track I've ever gone to ride, and it's kind of where I learned, and improved. And it's a local kart track here in Kershaw. It's actually, I think it's where Jackson Blackman grew up as well, like 40 minutes from his house. So, yeah, just Jeff Green at Blood Racing Lubricants. I don't know how many boxes of oil I got at the house just sitting there. Like I could probably change my own DSV for the next 10 years.
Yeah, you only got to do it like once a year.
Right? Yeah. It's an SV, right. Man. Come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that, and I gotta give a huge shout out to my dad. He let me stay at his house, and always feeding me, which is it's a huge
helps.
deal.
Right, it's a good deal right there. Hey, I'm coming too. What's for dinner?
I'll tell you what, we should definitely get together and cook something at one of the racetracks.
No, we will, 100%, man. 100%.
We'll definitely hook that up.
Yeah,
either corner spin or road, because we're all going to be. It sounds like we're all going to be at Road Atlanta for Moto America. So
yeah,
we'll figure that out.
We'll do that for sure.
No, we will. We will. So we got dude. Rick says, Chris, I love the background. Looks legit. Thanks, man. Everybody knows from my previous ones. I used to be in my other room. I'm actually redoing my whole kind of setup. It's not so. Listen, real quick. You see that tank shroud hanging up on my wall?
Yeah.
That is actually Alex Marquez's Moto 2 tank shroud off his Moto 2 bike that he had signed for me.
That's pretty cool.
That's fucking proper right
That's
there,
awesome.
right? That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
badass. Yes, yes, yeah. So, yeah,
I got something
Daniel.
like that I can't let out that I have.
Okay, okay. Well, you could
I'll
tell
let
us
you guys know. I'll
when
let
we
you guys
come
know
off.
when we kill
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
right. Um,
No,
go ahead.
I love it.
Giacomo.
I was gonna say I got a picture of Russell let me keep an SV for some winter training, and I had it down at Ashton Yates's house, or actually Aaron Yates's house, and I parked it right beside his Gixxer 600
Oh,
and
nice.
750 with the #1 plates, and took a snapshot of it and sent it to Russell, and he was stoked. I mean,
Oh,
those are pretty cool bikes. Like,
damn right.
we
Those
don't think
things
about it now, but those things
great,
were, I mean,
Dude.
they're beyond.
Proper. Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat on one? Does Aaron ever let you throw a leg over one?
No, I have not. I've got to put my hand on it. That's about
Ah,
it. But I think one of the two bikes doesn't even have like internals, like motor
yeah,
internals.
it's
wouldn't
yeah,
So
surprise
it's
me.
just like a
yeah. It
show
wouldn't
bike.
surprise me. Yeah, it's all just
Uh,
bare cases on it.
That
Yeah.
750's probably got a whole lot of stuff that's not in
A
it.
whole, absolutely a whole lot of stuff that's not it. Claudio says, sadly, I have to go to sleep. Love to listen to your storytelling. Giacomo, proud
yeah,
of you. See you soon.
that's my uncle. He's back home, so I'm sure now it's getting a little late over there.
Well, thanks for watching, Claudio. Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate it. And then, of course, my man Cameron Myers. What is up, Kid Chaos? Is in the house, baby. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I can't wait to have Cam and all them guys back on. But listen, anyway, thank you guys so much for joining in and tuning in. Daniel, is there anything you wanted to say? But before we got off here,
Trust me, I've got everything I need to say out of my system right now.
all
Like
right,
the
all
last thing
right.
you want me, the last thing anybody wants me to do is keep talking.
Let's keep
Okay?
talking,
Well,
right? I hear
Just
you.
I
literally
want to ask you
everybody's
this,
gonna watch this one.
Daniel.
Huh?
You gonna race the SV next year?
Oh yeah, I'm talking about getting an endurance team just for just do Road Atlanta. Um,
Okay.
I've got to refresh the motor, so I've got to go through there and yeah, because everybody would go into the hairpin and we'd at Barber and we'd all go to the throttle at the same time. Everyone else would leave and I would stay in the same spot. So
You're like,
it's
wait a
like I've
minute.
got to refresh the motor and all that mess. But yeah, they just released the WERA schedule for this year. So I'm gonna pick and choose what I'm gonna do. I've got some stuff I'm doing. Again, I'm old. Like I've got stuff I got to do to my house. I've got
Yeah,
stuff
I
that
know.
I'm
I
gonna
feel you on
do
that.
this year. So it's like I'll hit Road Atlanta, I'll hit Barber, I'll hit a Talladega round or maybe, but then do some other little stuff and coach a lot. I coach at track days up in Bowling Green, about an hour and a half from my house. So if you
Okay.
ever get bored and you've got a bike you want to come bring to the track, holler at me. Come up to NCM on a weekend. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Proper.
I'll
There you
definitely
go.
take you up on that.
Yeah.
I got you. You got a place to stay. You got all I got to do is make 2 phone calls and we got you.
Yeah. Perfect.
Cool.
That's
Cool.
awesome. I'll take you up on that too because I'd love
Come
to come
on
down
with it. Let's
and
go.
ride
And
with you.
hey,
Yeah.
Chris, I've got your Ducati guy to rebuild your motor. It might take a
Okay.
while, but I got the guy.
All right. All right. All right. Cool. Cool. Appreciate it. We'll chat
Also,
about this. Go
I
ahead.
wanted to say, Daniel, if you want to get some parts for the SV, I mean, Russell's got, a garage full, and
I will definitely be talking to you guys about that. Just like I've got. Well, get the live feed out. We'll
All
talk.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right,
Okay,
all right,
okay.
everybody.
Still,
You
because we're
heard
gonna
that.
start
Daniel
talking
said
for an
we
hour
gotta
about
go
dumb
now.
shit.
So listen. I just want to give a shout out real quick. Listen to everybody that always watches and supports us here at Pin to Gas. You guys, I tell you this all the time. You don't know how much it means to me. It means the world to me. I love every single one of you guys, and I say it all the time. For those of you that have not watched, like, or subscribe, I don't say this very much, but please go like and subscribe, hit that notification bell because it does help us out for all these future shows that we do have coming up because it does cost money. I'm not asking for money. I'm just asking for your support to like and subscribe. That's all I'm doing. Please help me out. I'm just playing, but please do go like and subscribe. It does help us out. Thank you again to everybody. I do want to say a big shout out to my man Jake Marsh over there in Europe, BSB. They support Pin to Gas. We're on his team shirts. We're on his race bikes. It's Jake Marsh. Everybody go support him at Club 45. Get in touch with me. I'll put you in contact. Please go support him. Also, my man Martin from the Clothing King Company, the Clothing Kings. He makes all our merchandise. If you guys want to buy Pin to Gas shirts or hats or beanies or jackets or whatever, go to theclothingkings.co.uk. Okay. And they have all our merch out there. Also, again, just thank you to everybody. And also big thank you to California Superbike School UK. If anybody out there in UK wants to go do a track day or learn from simply the best in the business, hit Jane up from California Superbike School UK .co.uk, right? So it's a lot for me to remember and try to go through. I need to do better about writing this down, everybody. I just told you a little secret. I need to write more shit down. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Erica Wolf says, we love you boys. And guess what, Erica? We love you too. And we love everybody that watched us. And Alfred said, Alfred, thank you. Wonderful show. Go, go, go. Yes, absolutely. I agree. But anyway, I'm Christian Show Simcoe, my man Daniel Shoemake, my good mate Giacomo Manera. Until next time, tune in tomorrow real quick. I know I keep going on this. Jack Hammersley is going to be on the podcast. 2023 MotoGP eSport champion with the KTM Red Bull team. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a proper show. Until next time, I'm Chris Show Simcoe, my man Daniel, and Giacomo. Peace.